Welcome to the Commercial Know-How podcast, where mortgage brokers learn how to successfully launch, manage and grow a commercial finance business. I'm your host, Belinda Gibson. Join me as I draw on more than 25 years of property finance expertise to show you how to diversify beyond residential and build a growing business for all seasons. Don't forget to hit subscribe and visit commercialknowhow.com.au to download my free ebook to help you get started in commercial finance. Now, sit back and enjoy the episode. Welcome. Today on Commercial Know-How, we will be discussing building rapport and relationships with your business clients. So today we'll discuss 7 or 8 different tips to how to be relatable and build rapport. Just remember, 9 times out of 10, you are going to be a business owner yourselves. So put yourselves in your client's shoes. Remember, it is just a conversation. So congratulations, you've now completed the discovery call with your business customer, and you've probably completed a pre-appointment questionnaire. You've started to prepare for your first meeting. Now we want to think about how you're going to run that conversation, starting to get to know your clients to develop a strong relationship. The more you can learn and understand about their business, the stronger your relationship is going to be. So whilst publicly available information can provide you with a really strong starting point, asking open-ended questions, listening and taking notes will help you write a good credit paper once you return to the office. So while your meeting might be about a property purchase or some cash flow funding, it might be about a refinance, tailor the questions to the clients. So I've put together a list of some conversation starters that you can build into your agenda. And the very first one is about understanding the business. You want to know what they do, how they do it, and how long they've done it for. The very first question is, how long have you had the business for? How did you get started? Tell me a little bit about. So preempt an answer from them. So if you can understand the background or the motivation behind their business, this will help you understand their why, their vision, their drive, the things that keep them up at night, and any personal connections they have to the business. It might be a family business. He may have, or she may have seen a niche in the market and they've created their business from there. So it's good to get that background story. The second one is about their competition. So how do they differ? What's unique about their business? Is it their business services? Is it their products or the area covered? So imagine you're interviewing a real estate agent. There's lots of competition in metropolitan Melbourne. What makes one brand different to the next brand down the street? You want to know their point of difference. They may not have a lot of competition, but they're all things that you can discuss. The third one, which I really like, are about achievements and challenges. So, what are some of the biggest achievements or challenges your client has had since their business commenced? You, being a business owner, also love talking about your business. Your client likes to talk about theirs as well. So if you can get them to talk about their challenges, moments that made them proud, have a genuine interest in what they're doing, discuss their accomplishments, and then that will help you to drive deeper conversations in the future. I personally like to ask the clients about challenges they've faced and how they've overcome that, particularly during COVID, when it was hard to find staff. Some businesses were, in shutdown mode or they were in growth stages. So you can talk about things like that, long hours, growing too fast, cash flow issues. These are things all businesses face from one point in time to another. So be relatable. The next one's about staff. So how many people do you currently employ? Do you have the right team on board to support the business? Now, depending on the size of the business, you want to open up the discussion here around employment structure, full-time equivalent staffing, and what their reporting structure is. Do they have a family tree? Is there a CEO, a general manager? Or is it a mum and dad type business where they've just got a couple of casuals? Every business is different to the next, and it's good to understand how that all works. This becomes relatable when you get back to the profit and loss. You can see a wages expense, but you don't know how many people they're employing, and it's not relating back to the directors, so who are they paying? So ask the questions up front. As a tip here, if they are a small to medium enterprise business, ask who the best person is in the company to obtain financial information from. Directors and business owners are busy. They might have an internal accountant that they want you to deal with or an internal staff member. Best to ask up front so your relationship heads off in the right direction from the get-go. The next one's around future opportunities that may exist for the business or the industry in the coming years. So if you're dealing with a heavy haulage business, it's a very capital expenditure driven business. Trucks are expensive, in that 200,000 plus zone. So, find out, have they got any plans to expand? Do they need new equipment? They might be a heavy transactional based business. So if you're thinking about retailers, they need add-on services like merchant services or website hosting. They might have a checkout card. So how can you add value there? It may not necessarily be relevant right here and now if they're looking at a commercial property purchase, but there's things that you can talk about in your credit paper to the banker, and then they can take over in that transactional space. Other opportunities may be around, do they need insurance premium funding? Are they looking to expand into a second site? But if you ask the question now, you may uncover what their future plans are. The next one is risks. So, what do you see as risks for your business or the industry in the coming years? So, if you look at petrol stations, we've got electronic cars coming in. Australia has seen changes to the logging industry. We've also seen changes to manufacturing, particularly vehicle manufacturing. Recycling is very common as well now in Australia. So what industry are they actually in? And what risks or challenges does your business owner foresee? So a tip here might be changes to government policy and how they can impact business decisions. Things like major roads, transport infrastructure announcements can also impact people's business decisions. They might not have any, but do your research before you go. And then as an add-on question, how will you manage these risks? So if you can understand the risk, it will allow you to offer relevant assistance if required. It may be temporary, it may be permanent. It could impact the business cash flow. Again, it might not be relevant to your particular client, but it's a question that you can park in the memory bank for, another transaction down the track. You'll soon discover that different lenders will have specific criteria and conditions that can affect the suitability and the recommendation for your clients. As a finance broker, it is essential to educate yourself about the lending policy of different lenders before recommending them to your clients. For example, you wouldn't be recommending an overdraft facility if your client has ample available cash to support the business. If your client specifically wants a longer term loan, 15, 20, 30 years, and you're recommending a 2 or 3 year term, it may not suit their needs. Understand their requirements so that you can confidently guide your clients towards a lender that will align with their goals. As a final tip, don't be scared to ask the second question. So if you've asked your first question and something else pops into your head that is relevant to that question, ask away. Don't be afraid to ask what your client likes to do on the weekends. How do they unwind? What keeps them up at night in the business? Be yourself, be unique, and be genuinely interested in what they're doing. So thank you for listening today. I hope today's podcast has helped you to build rapport and relationships with your business clients. Don't forget to visit commercialknowhow.com.au where you can download my free ebook to help you get started in commercial finance. Today's session will also be downloadable in a brochure, and you can also reach out on the website to get in touch with me. Please make sure you subscribe on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss an episode. See you soon. Thanks for listening to the Commercial Know-How podcast. Don't forget to visit commercialknowhow.com.au where you can get in touch with me or download my free ebook to help you get started in the commercial lending space. If you enjoy the show, please hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. See you soon.